they revisit the issue and it's fresh again, most of us will break down and cry. But the culture of that area does not teach that. He just stated it like a doctor. Yes, that's what happened. And it was like, I was like, culture are different. Yes. And we have the culture of God. Yes. And we must understand the culture of God. And the culture of God tells us that our God is not without a plan. God has a plan for your life. Yes. God has the plan for each and every one of us' life. Yes. The Bible let us know, I believe it's in Psalm 108. David said, before I was formed in my mother's womb, you knew me. He said the same thing to Jeremiah in chapter 1 of the book of Jeremiah, that before I formed you, I knew you. Yes. So David said, before you ever formed me, you knew me. Yes. You have all the days of my life written down in a book. And that the content of that book is so big that is bigger than the grains of sand on the seashore. He said the content of what God want to do in my life, my mind cannot even comprehend it. Is that not what 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9 is saying? He said, but as it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor have it entered into the heart of man, the thing which God has prepared for those who love him. What are we trying to say on this Palm Sunday? What we are trying to say on this Palm Sunday is this. One of the things that will steady your feet in life, to make you walk confidently before your enemy, to make you walk like the devil is dead, is the fact that you must know that God has a plan for your life. And that the plan of God for your life is good. John Hagee went to East Germany before the wall fell. And he said he was walking on the street. And somebody came up to him and said, you are not from here, are you? He said, no, I'm not. He said, how do you know? He said, because you walk like a man that is not afraid. In East Germany, because of the system in that place, you always walk and look behind your back to see if a spy is following you. He said, but you are walking without looking behind your back because you are confident. A Christian is supposed to be confident. A Christian who is secure in God, because God knows where the potholes are. We just listened to the song from Fred Hammer. He said, no weapon that is formed against you will prosper. And they will form it. The enemy will come against you. But God is saying, you will not fall. Even if you fall, the righteous man falls 7 times and it rises up again. Yes. So we have picked a story here that says, if the enemy has known, he will not have crucified the Lord of glory. Why? By Satan afflicting Jesus and allowing Jesus to die for us on the cross, he fulfilled the will of God. Jesus came to give his life for all of us. Jesus cannot die by stoning. In that day, the method of execution when you commit a sin against the Jewish culture is to stone you to death. But the Bible has prophesied that he knew no sin will become sin for us. The Bible has said that whoever is hung on a tree become a curse. God knows that Jesus is going to come and become a curse for us. And God prophesied from the Garden of Eden that the seed of the woman will bruise, that the Satan will bruise his heel and it will crush the head of Satan. And for over 2,000 years, the method of execution, according to the Jewish culture, has always been stoning. But the Bible says in the fullness of time, what God has promised manifest. Roman Empire took over the rulership of the Palestinian area where the Jewish people were. And they instituted this form of punishment. They call it crucifixion, which is a barbaric and very cruel form of killing people. Basically, you die from lack of oxygen. When they nail you to the cross, your lung is almost subdued, so you have to push yourself up in order to inhale and exhale. And it is that exertion that will eventually kill you. But it took almost 2,000 years before that system of punishment was ever invented. But God knew from time, before time began, that for Jesus to be our sin bearer, it must be crucified. One of the things you must know about your God, because what we're going to tie up today is this. When the enemy crucified Jesus, he followed, he submitted himself and obeyed God and did the will of God. Your enemy that is pushing you today is submitting and obeying the will of God for your life. Because most of us will not move unless we are pushed. And God uses our enemy to push us in the direction He wants us to go. You will see what I mean.
Yes.
The Bible let us know. And one of the things you will know in the course of this teaching is this. I want you to understand this principle. Your God never reacts. God always acts. God never reacts. God always acts. There's never, since time began, there's never been a news flash in heaven. There's never been a news flash in heaven. On CNN they say breaking news. There's never been any breaking news in heaven. Before anything ever happens, God knew about it, God foresee it, and God has a plan for it. Yes. We are the one that thing catches by surprise. So whatever God has purposed in your life, whatever God has spoken to you, I don't care how long it has been in your life, and it hasn't happened yet, don't give up on it. God is working His perfect plan in your life. It is Him who worketh in you, both the will and to do of His good pleasure. When we come to church, we should come to church to be encouraged, to hold on and not give up. Because as human beings, when we always have a time limit on what we are believing God for.